All right, guys, a lot of people are panicking, but Bitcoin hasn't actually gone down that much. The altcoins are suffering. Now, why are they suffering? A couple of days after the SEC announcement that 61 coins are altcoins. Well, it's because Robinhood actually delisted 3 coins. So if you look at ADA, Solana, and Polygon, you'll realize that those 3 are doing more than most, or doing worse than most. And that's because, people were already building up fear. And then this just broke the dam that big exchange like Robinhood delisted them. And I also think it's because of something else. Robinhood said they would actually sell their crypto assets, especially those 3, on the market. And I think this is part of their sale. If this is true, it might induce other people to panic. But I do think we will bounce back in the next few days if this much is actually true. Now, what does this actually mean that these alts are actually dumping? It means the Ripple case is actually more important than ever because the Coinbase case is actually in the same district as the Ripple case, which means Judge Torres's decision on whether XRP is a security on the secondary market or not is actually going to basically decide whether all these other coins are securities or not on the secondary market. The wet dream from some of the XRP people that essentially their coin's going to be a non-security and everything else is going to be a security, or their coin is the only one that's going to have regulation. That was never an actual possibility. It's an all or nothing thing from the SEC. And it's always been that way. That's why settlement has never actually come or is not coming. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories and there's a lot of speculation about June 13th, but I think that's going to generally be a nothing burger. There's not going to be a settlement on that date, and the Hinman documents are just going to be unsealed. Remember, that doesn't actually change the outlook of the case of SEC against Ripple, which I think Ripple probably will eventually, hopefully win, at least on the secondary market argument, because this is just unsealing those documents to the public. The judge and both sides' lawyers have actually seen these documents before, so they're not new information for the actual case or the summary judgment. So the fact that there hasn't been a settlement now means there's probably not going to be a settlement. And the SEC understands if they settle in Ripple's favor, everyone else that they actually sue will ask to see those Hinman documents as well. And they're going to be screwed anyways. So they're going to let them actually unseal. They're going to let the public see them. Whether that changes the case or not, I'm not really sure, because if those documents were going to end the case, they should have ended it by now, because both sides' lawyers and the judge herself has actually seen it. So the thing is, a lot actually rests on this case. Coinbase, all they really need is the SEC to lose the secondary markets judgment case. Binance is another story. I do think the Ripple case is going to vastly affect them as well, but they actually need Ripple to win on both accounts, both in the secondary market and the primary market. The secondary market, obviously, they want to list the coins, but remember, unlike Coinbase and like Ripple, they have their own coin. So their selling of BNB is going to be primary market. So they actually need Ripple to win the primary and secondary market, whereas Coinbase only needs Ripple to win the secondary market. But I think in terms of the crypto industry, I think it's actually enough for us if Ripple wins the secondary market. The judge actually might do a split ruling where Ripple wins the secondary market argument, but they lose the primary market argument, or they win the secondary market argument and they let the primary market argument go to trial. That would be not an ideal situation for Ripple or Binance, but it would be okay for me, because that means exchanges are no longer afraid to list those coins. Now, they can't issue their own coins, but they are no longer to list those coins. And that means Cardano, Solana, Polygon on exchanges are not securities either. And that would actually get exchanges to list even more altcoins. If that happens, as long as we win the secondary market case, I think crypto as a whole will actually, especially altcoins, will bump back up. So these 20% losses, I expect 20-40% gains. If crypto and the SEC and Ripple, if Ripple defeats the SEC on their secondary market aren't securities issue, because that's all it really takes for exchanges. So listen for that part of the decision, because if secondary market coins are not securities, then exchanges basically have nothing to fear, and we're probably going to pump back up. So that's everything that the decision hampers around. It specifically addresses Coinbase because Coinbase is being sued in the same jurisdiction, and it addresses Binance as well because with the LBRY case, you already have a signal that secondary markets aren't securities anyways. If you have another signal from a different district and a different judge, then other judges are very, very likely to follow that precedent. And the thing is, like, the SEC might appeal, but generally you're going to lose those appeals as well. For people that think the SEC is invincible, the SEC has lost cases before, and the only reason they win them in crypto is because they sue companies like LBRY that don't really have the resources to defend them. And in that LBRY hearing following the judgment, the judge actually specifically said that his ruling that LBRY was a security does not apply to secondary markets, and they actually even almost made the SEC admit that it wasn't a security on the secondary market. So I don't think that secondary market case is actually going to work very well for the SEC, and I do think that will actually blow up their case against Coinbase and partially their case against Binance, where everything else on the secondary market is not a security. Remember, this is an all or nothing for all of crypto. Either they're all securities or not, or they're all not securities. There isn't really a plausible scenario where like XRP is not a security and everything else is a security, because that's really not the way this lawsuit is actually turning out. There's been no settlement up until now, and there's very little chance there's going to be any kind of settlement. It's all or nothing right now, and it all hinges on what Judge Torres actually decides. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.